Alright everyone, welcome to another trade breakdown video. It's been a while since we had one of these, and the reason that I'm showing this today in lieu of yung normal na charting session natin, kasi naisip ko baka nagsasawa na kayo sa kakasabi ko na wala pa tayong magawa sa PSE eh. And it's true, no? Right now, conditions are not optimal. So rather than just keep banging our heads against the wall, I figured it would be nice to talk about something different para lang maiba naman ng konti. Okay? The trade breakdown that we're gonna be discussing today will be a trade that I took in PLC last month. Now, as always, resibo muna tayo. As you can see here, yung unang screenshot natin was from March 13, and this was a post that I shared with my students and patrons sa Discord, no? So, hindi ko sure kung nababasa nyo, baka medyo maliit. But essentially, I was saying there kung ano yung trade idea na naiisip ko para dito sa PLC. I'm not gonna read it na kasi papakita ko rin naman maya-maya sa chart, no? But I just wanted to show you that it was posted there kasi baka sabihin nyo, hindi, hindsight trade lang yan eh. Okay? Now, next is yung resibo. You can see here, one-time buy lang yung PLC, and we bought it at 42 cents. And then we ended up selling everything at 465. That was slightly different from the original plan, and I'll explain why then mamaya when we get to the chart. Now, the trade lasted from March 15 hanggang April 4, 2022. Now, since maliit nga yung chart kanina, diba, do sa screenshot natin, I also decided to post a chart, yung actual chart na shinare ko sa Discord, para lang meron tayong basis, okay, na pagsisimulan natin for our discussion today. Now, as you can see here, I drew yung path na gusto kong makita, meaning I wanted to see price break beneath tong 42, come back above it, retest it, and enter on the retest for a push back to 47. Okay? So now let's go to the chart para mas mapaliwanag ko ng mabuti and in greater detail kung bakit ko kinuha tong trade na to at bakit merong pagbabago na nangyari sa plano along the way. So I'm using TradingView's replay feature para pwede nating balikan yung chart based on how it looked from yung screenshot na pinakita ko sa inyo kanina. Okay? We were here. Now, una, bakit ako naglagay ng range from 42 to 47? Upside muna tignan natin kasi para lang hindi magulo, no? Kung titignan nyo yung upside, etong 47, each time that price has tried to go above it, it has been pushed down. Okay? So, based on that, tinignan ko lang saan yung may pinakamaraming touches. Okay? And in this case, it was yung 47 mismo, especially if you consider yung mga body ng candles, no? So, doon ko linagay yung high end ng range ko. Next, yung low end naman. Yung low end, kung titignan nyo yung 42, aside from the fact na prior to price here, na nag-act siya as support, diba? Tuloy-tuloy. If you look to the left, it has worked as a decent inflection point din. Meaning it has acted as both support and resistance along the way. Now, whenever may ganitong mga situations na maraming mahahabang wicks na hindi lang clustered sa isang area, like so, yung sabog-sabog siya, marami siyang lugar, I tend to put more weight sa close or sa body ng candle para lang may median ba? Meron akong objective way of looking at it kung saan ako pwede maglagay ng level. Okay? So, I had established a range. And at this point in the market, when we took this trade, the market itself was ranging. The conditions were not optimal. It wasn't great. So, hindi malayo na maghanap ng range trade, lalo na't sinasabi ko pa nga nun sa chat, kung nakabasa nyo kanina, was despite the fact na hindi maganda yung nangyayari sa ibang stock sa market, yung PLC parang nag-hold steady lang. Okay? So at that point, I already had an idea what I wanted to do. So the next step was to think about what I want to see. And as I mentioned dun sa pinakita ko kanina, I wanted to see price break beneath itong 42, go back above it, trade back, see it hold, and then we can push higher from there. Okay? I've mentioned numerous times that I don't like buying support. And the reason for that is I always think na mababasag yung support. Okay? I guess I'm just a little bit negative and paranoid that way, no? So I always think na mababasag yung support. So, what I want to see, kaya ako sinasabi na break below, close above, is kung mapapakat ba yung mga tao and ano yung mangyayari after nila mag-cut. In this instance, the very next candle, we actually broke beneath tong 42 and then close above it. If you look at yung volume here, okay, this is actually higher than yung volume natin for the past ilang days. Meaning, in my mind, iniisip ko na nung nag-break tayo beneath nito, may mga nakabenta or may mga napabenta na binili at tinulak din ulit pataas. Okay? Whether bumili yung mga tao because of this range, tas nung bumaba, cut agad, or yung mga mabilis mag-cut, di ba? Yung mga bibili 44, cut agad at 43.5 or 43, all of those. Kaya nagkaroon ng volume sa utak ko, yun yung nangyari. Now, whether or not this was actually the case, I don't know. Hindi ako tumitingin sa mga broker, whatever, chuchu, or hindi ako tumitingin gaano sa mga ladder when it comes sa PSE. Okay? I never have and I never will. I try to keep trading as simple as I can, no? So, nung nakita ko to, okay, nangyayari na yung naisip kong scenario, ah. So, nag-iwan na ako ng bid at the open for 42 cents. And as you can see on the very next candle, na-fill tayo. Okay? In fact, I could have even bid a bit lower and na-fill pa rin. But again, since no BS naman tayo, I'm not gonna say na, nabili ko sa pinakababa eh. Okay, because I didn't. Nabili ko siya at 42. My stop was beneath tong swing low na to, as I said. But instead of just putting it one tick below it, so that would have been 41, I felt that was a bit too tight, no? So nilagay ko at 0.405. 0.405 is around that level there. I felt na kung nabasag yan, either babalikan natin tong lows na to, which is a lot deeper pa, or even this support here at 0.385. Okay? So, ano yung nangyari from there? We were filled at 42 and then nag-gap up. So, at that point, iniisip ko na okay, sige, that's good. Hindi natin pwedeng i-move yung stop kasi it can always come back, fill the gap, then move higher. Diba? But what happened was, price just really never filled the gap, at least not in the past ilang days, no? Then from here, we started pushing higher, and nung nag-45 tayo, I was thinking na okay, parang may nagpo-form na level of support resistance dito. It was support here and then resistance there. So I want to see price trade above that sooner rather than later. If we collapse from here, meaning nauntog tayo dyan, I might have to think about possible early exits. But again, habang di pa naman nangyayari, walang sense na pangunahan, no? And then this happened. We broke above it. At this point, I was already thinking na, okay, from here, we should push to 47. Kasi we broke above this and dapat diretso na yan eh. Alright? The problem was, that I had on this day, was we were 1 cent away from target, pero hindi ko ma-move yung stop ko ng higher. Bakit? The earliest that I could see moving my stop to, or the closest, was here. Pero di ko mailagay dyan kasi it's always possible we come back, fill the gap, then bounce. So I couldn't move my stop. Nandun pa rin yung stop ko. And as you guys have heard me mention numerous times before, I consider evolving R, meaning yung rinirisk ko, malaki na, tapos yung pwede ko kitain maliit na lang, 1 cent na lang eh. So I decided na tignan for the next couple of days what was gonna happen. Kung ayaw talagang tumuloy, then I'll get out. Kasi ang lapit na eh. If it gap down, I'll get out. So what happened next? The next day, walang nangyari. Okay, we just did this. And then the day after that, lumubog ng konti, nag-hold tong previous resistance as support, and then nasa 46 pa din tayo. At this point, I considered na ibenta na siya at close. In fact, I tried to. Pero, nung nakapag-desisyon ako na sa mga 2 or 3 minutes na lang prior to close. So when I posted my order, hindi na siya na-fill. Okay? Hindi na siya na-fill. Had it been filled, itong usapan natin today, I would be saying na nabenta tayo at 46. Okay? So from there, lumubog konti. Wala pa rin akong ginawa. Kasi iniisip ko noon, nag-hold pa naman eh. Hindi ako nakabenta the day before. So let's just see what happens next. And then this candle happened. When this candle happened, number one, I moved my stop beneath that candle. Para sa akin, it came back down, tested this area, then pushed back up. Pero nung nag-close tayo ng 1 tick away from target, I decided na, you know what, kahit na nandito pa yung stop ko, the R or the risk reward is simply not worth it anymore. So lumabas na ako at the close of this candle, 0.465. Now, bakit ko binenta lahat? Bakit hindi ko sinunod yung original plano na pinakita ko sa inyo kanina na selling a majority of my position then leaving a runner to see kung ma-break yung 47 to target 50 next? The reason for that was at the time of this candle, hindi na talaga maganda yung market conditions. Okay? And I wasn't gonna force trades na nagre-rely sa quote-unquote breakouts kapag hindi maganda ang market conditions. Mostly because napansin ko na kapag hindi maganda yung conditions ng market, breakouts tend to fail. Okay? So even had it broken beyond this range ng 47, baka nag-fail din siya agad. So I decided to just sell everything and close the trade. Okay? It was again mostly due to market conditions. Now, what happened next after that? Kung papansinin nyo, price moved lower from there. And then, we eventually come back and tag tong 47. Papansinin nyo, nag-hold to, di ba? Etong area na to. Again, minsan parang paint by numbers, no? Then we jump back and tag 47. Target hit. But unfortunately, wala na ako doon. Again, ayoko naman kayong i-BS, no? So, I could have easily said na hindi, nabenta ko dito, 47, ang galing ko, nabenta ko sa exact target. Pero unfortunately, hindi. Diba? Dito ko siya nabenta, 1 tick before it. And after natin mahit yung target, prices just basically range in this area. And hanggang today, nandyan pa rin tayo. So I just wanted to show you a quick screenshot from yung trade calculator ng FMS para lang makita natin ano yung net percentage gain nung trade natin sa PLC, no? So as you can see here, pumasok tayo at 42 cents and as mentioned, lumabas tayo at 0.465. So the net percentage gain is 9.4%, meaning nabawas na po dyan yung comms and fees and whatever. Now, I'm using FMS kasi as far as I know, walang trade calculator sa AAA. Kung sakali mang meron, please let me know, no, para magamit ko rin. Pero as far as I know, wala, kaya ito muna yung ginamit ko. So guys, dito po nagtatapos yung video natin. I hope nakatulong po to sa inyo kahit papano, no? And if so, I would really appreciate it if you give this video a like, share it with other friends, and subscribe to my channel. And as always guys, maraming salamat po sa panonood. I really appreciate it. Good luck and happy trading!